Hello. For my paper, I wrote about a situation I had last year. I know it's a year out, but it stands out pretty much like it was yesterday in my head. It was a situation where I was at the time staying at a sober living. Um, it was my final step before completing my program. A month into where I was staying at the sober living, there was a switch with my social worker, with my DCFS case. And with the new social worker, she introduced herself first over the phone. And we had scheduled a meet date. And there she asked if I had any concerns. Prior to meeting, she asked if I had any concerns. My plans after the program, if I had a place to stay. I did voice my concern regarding housing. And when we met in person, we scheduled a meet date. I did voice my concerns again that I was in need of housing, because even though I was able to return home to my mother's house, for myself, that is not a place that I can live. It's too much commotion, returning to places, where for my sobriety would not have been the wisest decision. I did voice my concerns again to my social worker, that I did need referrals, resources regarding housing. I thought I made a clear understanding of my concerns, her being my social worker, wanting me to succeed in my sobriety. And I let about 2 weeks go by, almost 3. I followed up with her regarding if she had any leads, any referrals, and she told me she did not. She was looking into it. Followed up with her another time, and she pretty much just told me she didn't have anything for me. There was nothing she can do, and I was frustrated. She's there to help me in this process, help me, so I can keep the custody that I had already, my kids had already returned back, but I was completing my program. And I thought I made a clear understanding, not only to her, but to my first social worker, that returning to my mother's house was not the place for me to be. And she pretty much the new social worker pretty much dismissed me by saying she couldn't help me. She doesn't know what she can do for me. Frustrated, I pretty much just told her, thank you, I'll figure this out. And left it at that. I was just glad that having her as a social worker was for a brief time. I didn't have her on my case for too much longer after that. I was given a new social worker, which I was thankful for, because the second one wasn't doing it for me. It did teach me a lesson to make sure that I followed up, was on top of, to be on top of what it is I need. If I'm not given an answer, I know there is another person above to get an answer. Especially when it comes to my sobriety, that should be, and that's their line of work. There is other people out there that can help. They have supervisors have supervisors. So even though it was an unfortunate incident, it was a lesson learned. And I'm just fortunate now that I have a new social worker that is rooting for me on my side and is helping me with whatever it is I need regarding housing. Thank you.